Well, they're just giving the Pledge of Allegiance apropos the nut case going on there. Anyway, nutty questions about the president's birth certificate are being raised not only at Republican town meetings, but also in Congress, where a group of Republicans are sponsoring a bill to require future presidential candidates to provide their birth certificates. One of those Republicans is Congressman John Campbell of California. Congressman, thank you for joining us. The reason this is fascinating is that meeting. But let me tell you, the prime sponsor of this, your colleague Bill Posey of Indiana, here's what he said. I can't swear on a stack of Bibles whether he's a citizen or not. He's talking about the President of the United States. His spokesman says if the guy would produce an authentic birth certificate, we could stop all this. And then Congresswoman Blackburn says people in her district in Tennessee are losing faith in the American system because they don't believe this guy's a citizen. What is going on that so many Americans doubt the obvious, that Barack Obama is a citizen, to the point that you felt it necessary to co-sponsor this crazy proposal?
First of all, Chris, we'll get to the proposal in a minute. The proposal is not crazy. The proposal is just looking forward, and I want to get to that. But wouldn't you like to put all this to rest? That's what this proposal is about.
How does this put it to rest?
This controversy, let me first say, this controversy is not new. Remember, there was questions about John McCain. Had John McCain become president, and remember, then Senator Obama had to come out and say, look, I don't think John McCain's eligibility to be president is an issue. And he was able to put it to rest, but the fact is, if John McCain had become president, you'd be having this issue on the other side. If you want to go back, people thought that Barry Goldwater was not qualified because he was born in the Arizona Territory, and that Mitt Romney's father, George Romney, was not eligible to be president because he was born in Mexico. So this is not a new issue. What this bill does is very simple. It's only looking forward, as you suggested. It's 2012 right. and beyond. And well, let me back up. You know, the Constitution, as you know, most elements of the Constitution have implementing legislation. This particular element of the Constitution does not. And this is just implementing legislation, right. Just saying, look, before you run for president, let's make sure, let's have you substantiate that you meet the constitutional requirements, right. That you're 35 years old, etc. Why is that crazy, though, Chris?
Congressman, nice try. But what you're doing, it's a nice try what you're offering, and I'm laughing with you only to this extent because I know it's a nice try. What you're doing is appeasing the nutcases. As you just pointed out, this won't prove or disprove whether Barack Obama is a citizen. By the way, let me show you his birth certificate. That's the way to deal with this. Mail this birth certificate to the wacko wing of your party so they see it and say, I agree with this. It's over. What you're doing here is doing what the Republicans did after Roosevelt got elected to a third and fourth term. You said you can't do it again. You're verifying the paranoia out there. You're saying to the people, you're right. That's a reasonable question, whether he's a citizen or not. Is it a reasonable question, Congressman? Do you believe it's a reasonable question whether Barack Obama is a legitimate native-born American? Is that a legitimate question?
Chris, isn't it a legitimate question? And let me ask you, isn't it a legitimate question to know, Chris, if anybody who runs for president, you, me, whoever, that we meet the constitutional requirements, 35 years of age, been a resident of the country for 15 years, whatever it is, and a natural-born citizen. Don't you think that anybody who runs for president wouldn't you want to know that? That they meet those requirements before they run.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have any doubts, Congressman, about the authentic native birth in this country of our president? Do you have any doubts?
Chris, it doesn't matter.
Do you have any doubts?
I have doubts or not. It doesn't matter.
You won't answer the simple question.
Chris, he's president of the United States. I agree with what...
No, you are feeding the wacko wing of your party. Do you believe that Barack Obama is a legitimate native-born American or not?
That is not what this bill is about, Chris.
No, what do you believe?
As far as I know, yes. Okay?
As far as you know, yeah. I'm showing you his birth certificate.
I'm looking at a camera right now. So
you want me to mail it to you?
No. But Chris,
it's on the screen now. Take a close look.
Chris,
it says Barack Hussein Obama. He was born August 4th, 1961 in Honolulu. Is that a state? Yes, it was.
Fine.
His mother was Caucasian. His father was African. What more do you want? He's male.
What is the matter?
He was born, by the way, at 7:24 p.m. in the island of Oahu. What more do you want? I mean, I'm serious. You say as far as you know, you are playing to the crazies.
Chris, What is wrong?
Just tell me. Okay,
no,
give me
Chris, you tell me what because that bill is not about Barack Obama. The
well,
bill
then,
is about
what about
anybody,
you? What are you about?
The bill
I'm
is
asking
about
you,
anybody
Congressman,
who runs for president.
You know what? You have a lot of authenticity. You're a U.S. Congressman. Say it now. He's a legitimate president of the United States. He was born in this country.
He is president of the United States. And as far
as was he born in this country?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, you're glad we're making progress here.
Okay.
You know, your colleague who put this bill in it, no, but the reason your colleague, Bill, you co-sponsored a bill by this guy, Posey. Posey's spokesman said, we want to see an authentic birth certificate from this guy. His people said, this is what the congressman said, I can't swear on a stack of Bibles whether he is or isn't a legitimate native-born American. You guys are playing to the wacko ring. Now, I'm glad that you've just left the band of merry men and women who are out there jumping up at hearings of people like Mike Cassa, who is a normal person, and raising what is really not a good question to raise. Now, the reason I bring this up with you is you say this will put the issue to rest. Do you think barring a president from serving more than 2 terms put to rest whether Franklin Roosevelt should have been elected a 3rd and 4th term? Do you think it really put that to rest? Or was it a way of whacking the guy on the way out the door?
No, he did serve more than 2 terms. You mean?
And why did you guys on the Republican side pass a constitutional amendment to say you couldn't do that again?
So
because you wanted to say, let's not have this happen again.
Right. And that's
right.
And what we're saying here is let's not have questions about it again. As I said,
there are no questions.
No, but
here's his birth certificate.
But
where are the questions?
But Chris, the questions, even those questions will go away if there's a process. Because if John McCain had been elected, people would be questioning him too.
Okay, Congressman, one last question.
Sure.
Do you believe by passing a bill that no more presidents, no future president can be elected without showing a birth certificate will put to rest whether Barack Obama was born in the United States or not?
I believe.
Do you think that will put it to rest? How will it put it to rest?
Yeah.
How will it put it to rest?
Because he'll probably run again in 2012. Is that what you mean, or what?
Okay, so you're saying that he has to show a birth certificate to get reelected president. Is that what you're saying?
Chris, it's about going forward, okay? It is about ensuring that anyone who runs for president meets the constitutional requirements so we don't have this problem. You've got a major in the United States Army now saying he's not going to serve because there's a lot of this rippling out there, and this would put it to rest in the future. Let me tell
you how to put it to rest.
Okay.
Get a copy of Barack Obama's birth certificate, which, by the way, you didn't have to be on this show to get a copy of it if you had any interest in finding it. Because before you signed on to this bill, I would have recommended to you, if I were one of your staffers, find out if Barack Obama has a birth certificate that shows he's born in this country before we proceed in this wacky direction, because this will send a signal to the whole world. If the U.S. Congress passes a bill and asks the president to sign it, that says that no future president can get in the door without proving he's a citizen, I think he might get the message that he's just been profiled as a suspect in this case.
Let me let you think about whether it's wacky to say that you shouldn't have to prove you meet the constitutional requirements before you run. I'm not sure that's not.
I want to see the letters that you send to your constituents, and I want to know whether you tell them, you know, sir, I have a copy of his birth certificate. We really don't need it for this president, but I understand the need for future presidents. But I just don't want to see people playing to the nut wing. And you say you're not doing that.
Absolutely not doing that. In fact, it's the opposite, Chris. It'll shut this stuff down.
No, it won't.
All right. Well, we can disagree to disagree on that.
But if this shuts it down, I'll be shocked. Anyway, thank you for your great guy to come on the show, Congressman John Campbell, who does believe. Watch the rerun at 7 o'clock. He does believe that Barack Obama is a native-born American. So those wackos in your district out there, don't vote for this guy because he fundamentally disagrees with you. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Up next, what does Groucho Marx have to do with the debate over health care reform? Stick around. You'll find out in a sideshow. I think we just had a sideshow. You're watching Hardball. Only